I'm on to the second drawing now, and I'm doing that name box again, which was 150 millimeters long by 45 millimeters high. It doesn't take too long to do. 45 millimeters in, there was a bit of a line. We had two lines, 15 millimeters of separation between them. One there and one there. We had a 10 millimeter line down from the top of the page for that name inset. And there were some breaks along the bottom, 50 and 35. 50 and 35. 5. And that line in fact came right through there. So it takes about 2 minutes to construct the name box. Don't know why when I come around the class and I see people taking hours to construct simple things like name boxes. So again, I'll put the name of the project here. It's Gal Project.
If Skyrim had like a destructible world, how would yeah, it would be awesome, but it's going to grind down. It's almost impossible for someone to make a game that big and have a destructible world. Yeah.
Project. I put my name on the side, and this time being a little bit more careful to start well across to the left-hand edge of the box. If I had a larger name which I could not fit in, I'd have to break it down to maybe just initials or something like that. So that'll do for there. Name, the project. Now I've got to think about the isometric nature of what I'm working with. I've already put a baseline on the drawing, and as you know, the first thing we do with an isometric project is to do 30-degree perspective lines. And we can put a bit of a 90-degree line up the middle of that. Isometric has distortion in every face. And with the isometric, there's no point in measuring, it's only done to proportion. So if we just take a bit of a guesstimate here and say that the thing's about that wide, and put another vertical line there, and we've got a section which is folded up at the front, which is about that high. I'm only doing these lines slightly at the moment. That now gives me a reference for the other side of the project. I know that the project has a bit of a hole in it about here, and then it comes back and then it goes up the page. Now I'm going to have to be a bit careful here about going up the page because I might run out of space. So I'll bring this into about there, and that's going to take just about all the room that's left on the paper. Again, T-square and set square work here. This one here, I can come up thinking about where that 30-degree layback is going to be.
Because I remember playing one, and looked up on the
Here we
internet.
have it,
All turn-based
30-degree
ones. I
layback.
remember the one I was playing with you on
Now, on this edge, we had a section which was cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Come down about that far, and it's sort of squarish. And I've got to think that side there, I want to match up with that side there. So they look pretty similar size. Not measuring anything here, it's just done by eye. And these lines I'll be able to cut out. That line will come out. So these lines I'll erase soon. That line I'll get rid of soon. This line can go as well. This is a construction line. We're not looking too bad so far. So let's just have a look at that. Alright, when it comes to doing this circle, I'll leave that what I've got there, and I'll put a reference line down for the edges of the circle, and then I'll do some 30-degree laybacks for the circle proper. 30 degrees, 30 degrees, and this is where I need to be a bit careful. I do need to measure these because I need to make equal edges all the way around. So I'll go just on my drawing, 40 and 40, and then come across set square. I only needed to measure 2 edges because the rest is going to map out perfectly for me. Alright, shouldn't do those too hard because they are just the frame for the circle itself. Now on each one of these I need to cut the edges in halves. So it's 20 millimeters on each edge, and then just using the ruler, this is where we don't use the set square, we have to put some construction lines in here from the top down to this halfway line, from the top down to this halfway line, and then we've got a point there and a point there for the compass. So we get the compass and we can map out the end circles. So from here to here, I have an arc. Using the other end, I can do another arc.
That absolute pink. The fence is ridiculous.
And then the large arcs come from point here and point here. So into here. And if we've done this all using the T-square and set squares, and we haven't gone skew-if at any point, and we've used good sizes for the sides of this isometric frame, this should all line up. We're out by just a fraction, but I am working quite quickly here. So after we've done that nice isometric circle, we'd be able to get rid of these construction lines, this, and we've got this nice circle in the middle. So there's our isometric projection, more or less finished. There's no dimensions go on here. What we can do, we can put a bit of a title here saying isometric.
Who did you pick for, what's the other pick for DRUITT? Yeah,
Not two.
always get my pick. I like, no, I can't not pick Charmander or,
Scale.
Yeah.
Isometric, not to scale. So I'll just get an eraser, we'll clean that up, and it should be looking pretty good. So now we've got the finished second page of the drawing. There's the name box. Western Sydney Institute of TAFE, GAL project, March the 1st, 2016. And there's the isometric drawing, not to scale. I've rubbed out the construction lines and I've hardened or darkened the outlines of the drawing, and the whole sheet would be ready to submit for marking. Now, of course, that was sheet number 2 of a 2-page drawing. I keep the sheets together on the drawing board. The other sheet is here. Again, some close-ups showing, don't make this mistake with the stacked edge referencing here. I did put the wrong dimensions here. I was working in 2:1 scale, and I had to measure this at 47 millimeters on the drawing, but in fact the fabrication size 23.5, so don't fall for that. Again, that was measured at 50 on a 2:1 drawing, but 25 millimeters would go on there. The circle, done at 2 times the size that it will be in real life. It's a 20 millimeter hole, but of course it's drawn on here at 40 millimeters. And the inset, right hand end view of the product, scale 1:1. And that's the first drawing.